Hi friends, it's Tom. Thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about this wonderful book I just read, so let's continue this video right now. So I just finished reading this book, Stones by Kevin Young. It looks like this. It's published by Cape Poetry. So on the back of the book we have a lot of praising for the poet. For instance, it says, one of the most important poets of his generation, from the Washington Post. The New York Times writes, keeping up with him is like trying to keep up with Bob Dylan or Prince in their primes. Even the bootlegs had bootlegs. The Los Angeles Times, one of the poetry stars of his generation. Washington Post, there appears to be no format in which Young does not shine. And there are a few more, but that raised the bar reading the back. So the book has been divided into 7 sections. I haven't really reflected why there were 7 sections actually, but I might do that later. I just enjoyed the poems. The first section starts off with this poem, and it's called Halter, which made a huge impact on me. It was a great start of the book, pretty dark, because it starts with these lines. Let me read them to you. Nothing can make me want to stay in this world. So it's a pretty dark beginning. He talks about all these beautiful things that apparently will not make him want to stay, but in the end he talks about his son in a very loving way. I'm not going to talk too much about it. You just have to read the poem. I can't describe it in a very beautiful way, but you just have to read it, I guess. So this book, it's very much about remembering where you came from, who you are, and where you want to go. He writes about his mother, he writes about his son, he writes about the generations before him. And I can give you an example of that in the poem, which is called Mason Jar. It ends with these lines. Let me read them to you to give you an example. See how your head wilts, held over your heart to honor today the death who cannot say, yet still share your name. So the poems in this collection start off with these incredible lines, which makes you want to read the entire poem, and the poem gets a bit more abstract. For instance, we have this poem called Bouquet, which start off with these lines. Tell the sky, quit stealing you away. Isn't that just a great opening line? I love it. I love that. And it's a very beautiful poem. One of my favorite poems was actually a poem about his father, I guess. It's called Tonsure. I really liked it. It reminded me of my dad, maybe a bit emotional. For instance, these lines, forever you find your father in other faces. Reading that, I immediately have... Reading that, it made me, I don't know, feel a bit emotional. I cannot explain why. I'm not really good at explaining that, but it was just a feeling that, yeah, it happens. I don't know how to describe that, but it felt really beautiful to me. So yeah. So in the entire collection, we have the same structure of the poems, which looks like this. You can see that. I kind of had to get used to the structure. But once I was used to it, I thought it was very easy to read. Because of the structure, I knew where to have a pause, and it looks very beautiful on the page. So to end this video, this was a great book, and I highly recommend you checking this out. If you don't want to buy the entire book, there are a lot of great videos on YouTube in which Kevin Young reads his poetry. You can really check that out. I would give this 5 stars. I highly recommend it, as I just said. The praising on the back did not let me down, and I will be rereading this every now and then. I will put it on my side table just to read a poem every now and then. So that's pretty much it for now. Thank you so much for watching. In case you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love that. It would make me very happy. I would love to have you guys join the club, and hope to see you all in another video. Have a lovely day or night. Bye bye.